The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. Hey, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business?
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Business Zone with and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And today, Crystal, what do we got going on?
Oh, wow. This is coming off a week of all kinds of crazy stuff.
All kinds of crazy stuff, huh?
It's been a whirlwind in the news. The only thing I will say, and I'm not concerned about R. Kelly because I think he's a monster, but I was definitely concerned that they were about to destroy Michael Jackson. And so there were some articles that came out this week that was really, really interesting about that. And a journalist from Forbes magazine wrote a op-ed, and he talked about chronicling the history of this young man. That
Which
did
young
Neverland.
man?
Ron,
the one who, the accuser?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he actually testified in all of the court cases before, and so the reporter was saying every rock that was on Neverland was turned upside down, and it went in, and there was no evidence of any of that. Right. And this young man actually benefited because he got to dance with Beyonce and NSYNC, and then when he got to be in his mid-30s, his life crashed. Right. And there was no business. So he went looking for some money. And
I am sick of these people. I mean, if a victim is a victim, then you treat it like a victim. But don't benefit from a situation, and when it's not benefiting you anymore, then all of a sudden you start attacking the situation.
Right. Now you're going to attack the situation.
Exactly.
I mean, because what about the people that really, truly do
That's what I'm
have
talking
legitimate cases?
That's what I'm
issues,
talking about.
Like the women with the R. Kelly thing. Yeah. Now you're going to dilute from that. But
it put a big shadow over it.
And they were saying, and it was true. I remember the Michael Jackson, the whole thing. There was nothing left for them to do.
Exactly. They investigated. The parents were involved. I mean,
everybody. So this is just a ploy because he figures, okay, this is the Me Too movement, so let me get in an opportunist.
Yeah, that's really what it is.
Yeah. So.
And, I'm sorry that at the time when it happened, he was a little kid, didn't really, I'm saying it happened. The alleged situation occurred when he was small, but the parents were there. The parents, they said nothing happened. And now all of a sudden, when the well runs dry.
Right, when the well runs dry. And the only thing you've done is backup dancing. So you have no other skills. And we talk about that, even when we talk about that from a business standpoint, it's you didn't go out to update your skill sets.
Right.
And now it's everybody else's fault. But there's no excuse for you not to have been able to update your skill sets.
Exactly.
So you have to look at making sure that whatever skills you have stay relevant and constantly be a work in progress.
That's right.
And so that's basically what it came down to.
You know what I'm wondering? Well, I'm not really wondering. I know this as a fact. If this were a little African American kids saying those things, would anyone care?
It wouldn't even have gotten to the paper. Neverland would have, that whole documentary would have never made it to light.
I try not to get involved in these little political things, but there comes a time when you really got to step out there and say, you know what, enough is enough.
Yeah,
enough is enough, because they've been doing these things for a while now. and they build up certain people, and then all of a sudden, bam, they rip them apart.
Right.
They've done it with all of these folks.
Everybody, every time they feel that they didn't gotten an edge, then they well, basically to let you know, and this is the conversation we were having last week, remember?
Exactly.
As soon as they think you have an edge, then they snatch it down. Mm-hmm. I was listening to, and I'll send it over to you because they did it so well. This is a conversation that Roland Martin and Jane Elliott. So Jane Elliott is the teacher. She's a white woman, older white woman that she had a test. She had an experiment, brown eyes versus blue eyes.
Oh, I know that experiment.
Right. So she actually has been out there on the circuit talking about racism and how. And so she's talking at a women's conference in Ann Arbor, Michigan, with Roland Martin. It is, they just lay it out so clear.
Is she African American?
No, she's white. She's a white lady. And so she was saying, when it opened up, she was saying that and they were introducing her, and they were saying that she gets death threats all the time, and people trying to kill her, and she goes, and even her family has disowned her. So Roland said, "Wow, you sound like you black."
Yeah,
and she said, "Actually, we all are." So, but I'll send it over, but it explains it. And the other thing that and this was in 2017. This took place. This conference took place.
Right.
So in it, he's talking about the next issue that floored me this week was the college scam, the Varsity Blues. The operation was Operation Varsity Blues. So this is before this happened.
Yeah.
Roland is talking about the advantages that the colonizers have, and all those opportunities, no matter how we try to achieve. Then, and he says in this video, he goes, so when you take, let me back up. Jane Elliott was saying she takes her hat off to black women because no matter what challenge we've encountered, we learn how to come up over that.
That is true.
And so she was saying, Roland said, he says, you tell her, okay, she's heading down the field, she got everything she needs, and she get there, and you're like, okay, you got to jump that fence over there, and it's 10 feet high.
Yeah,
and
even though the fence wasn't there before.
It wasn't there before. Then she goes back. She goes, okay, well, I'm going to go work out, and I'm going to train, and I'm going to come back and jump over the 10-foot fence.
Yeah.
So she does that, and then she moves up another head, and then she looks up, and there's a 16-foot fence.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, I got to go back and train, but I'm going to be. So she was taking her hat off to black women, which is very true. Black women have had to hold up everything after after the destruction of everything else.
Right.
But in there, he's talking about one of the biggest issues is that white mothers do not prepare their children to be competitive.
That's true.
Because, what was it, a couple of years ago, it became everybody that was playing a sport, everybody gets a reward or a medal because we don't want anybody to feel bad.
Yeah.
Well, these are the children from
or products of that.
That's a product of that wonderful experience. So they don't know how to compete.
Yeah.
And they think everything is supposed to be for them. And then when their parents go make sure.
Yeah. And
so now when they're trying to get in schools, they can't compete with the kids that are hungry, that have no choice. There's been a couple of things on Facebook. One young man, homeless, been offered 4 scholarships to 41 colleges.
Yeah.
Another young black girl, 117 colleges. And then this other young black girl took the SAT, her SATs, and she got a 1,500. They said she had to have cheated.
Wow.
She had a 1460. They said she had to cheat it. So then she had to take it again.
Yeah.
And she got another 4. She got 1500 that time. And they're like, well, she has to be cheating.
Yeah.
Now over here they're buying them, and other people are sitting there.
And no one is even looking at that. Even though there's evidence where these kids are on social media saying, I don't want to go to school. I hate school. I don't care about school. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not taking no SAT class.
That is unbelievable. See, the thing about it, here's a pitiful part about it. The pitiful part about this is all of those people who are involved in it that are not minority, they're going to get a slap on the wrist. They're going to get community service.
Yeah.
And
if they get that.
And then someone else who looks like us is going to bear the brunt of it. You see what I'm saying? That person's probably going to get 15 to 25 years.
Well, actually, a young lady, and she's waiting for the results of what's going to happen, to the outcome. But she was homeless, and she used her father's address because she had no address.
That's what I'm talking about.
And they put her in jail.
Yeah, how long?
She was in jail for 6 years.
That's what I'm talking about.
And then her father... They put him in jail too, and he died in jail.
That's what I'm talking about.
Put their child in foster care because there's nobody to take care of the kid.
See, there's two sets of rules.
Yeah, there is definitely two sets.
You've got the privileged and the non-privileged, and that's really what it is. And we're always going to be classified, no matter how much money we have. We're always going to be classified in the non-privileged category.
Right, exactly, because they feel that they're the elite, the entitled group, and the more superior group, and which is absolutely amazing because when you look at Trump's whole cabinet, ain't nobody in there superior.
That's what I'm talking about.
Not one. They all using one brain.
Yeah, and they're not that bright.
Right, exactly. Everybody's functioning on one collaborative brain.
It's unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
It's crazy. So this week was a week.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I even stopped watching the news because I got sick of it. It's the same thing they're talking about over and over. There's no different results.
No.
And, they've been telling us over the years that, that kind of behavior, it equates to insanity, right?
Yeah.
You do the same thing over and over and expect a different result, and you're getting the same result. That's insanity.
And this week, you had everything. And then the day he couldn't get his vote, number 45 couldn't get his vote for the wall, for the emergency, and the federal emergency, so he did his first veto.
See, that's the thing I don't get again, right? Because all of these guys, they understand, they know what's going on. I mean, we all know if it was Obama in there, they all would gang up on him, right?
Yeah.
We know that.
Yeah.
Now, these are the guys who've been sitting silent on the Senate bench and saying nothing about it. These are some of the same guys like Lindsey Graham, who's been saying all kinds of negative stuff about him when he was running against him, how much of a buffoon he was, he is an idiot. So now they have an opportunity to vote against this, right? All we needed was 20 of them, 20 Republicans to vote no against this thing. Right. And then he couldn't veto it. He has no veto power. Okay? So now there's 12 of them who voted, and it's short 8. So now he's going to drag this thing out again. Now it's going to go through the courts. It's going to use up our money to fight this stupid thing. You see what I'm saying? And one of his Republican
collective brain.
Senatorial,
the collective
woman,
brain.
She said she had 5 parts to how you determine an emergency, right? And one of them is that it has to be a temporary situation. The emergency cannot be for anything permanent. It has to be for something that's temporarily. The wall is permanent. You see what I'm saying? And it has to be something that the nation really is in danger of.
Right.
We're not in danger of this darn wall.
No, because look at the and I just found this out at the gym this morning. So the New Zealand, the bomb that was blown there was supposedly a white supremacist, and it killed the 400 and something Muslims.
Yeah.
I was at the gym, and one of the guys that works out with me, he was saying that the address that's next to the hair shop that he works out of, there is some suspicion going on in the shop there with these guys that own that place, and they were just mean and nasty, horrible people. But this address popped up. So, and he said that they look like they're Iranians or Middle Easterners. So they didn't come in under no fence in Mexico. They flew in on a plane.
That's exactly my point.
Yeah, they didn't come over a fence, so it's ridiculous, and that's not the reason they're doing that anyway. Crazy, we know what they're doing. We all know, and it's one of the things. I think it's one of the things that we talk about all the time is when we're talking about the black and the brown coming together. Mm-hmm. Now, I want the black and the brown come together because when the black and the brown come together, now that makes their numbers diminish and our numbers get larger. They need to get rid of them.
They know that,
and any look or thought process, it looks like that we're going to start collaborating with other people.
You're right. And that's what they're doing, trying to drive a wedge, thinking that, it's going to have people thinking, oh, these people are awful. We can never side with them. They're going to kill us.
But not these people that are cheating on college.
That's what I'm talking about.
And here's the thing that makes no sense. And I know you've talked about this before. Yeah. Your college loans that you're still paying on.
Man. Don't even get me started on that one.
So these people have, on a norm, the average or the statistics say that it costs about $250,000 to send your child to a 4-year college. Even Susie Orsman had said she didn't feel that was worth it. Send your child to a 2-year college first to see what they are wanting to do before you go off into a 4-year. Because in the first 2 years, they don't even know what they want to do, right? And so here these people then paid millions of dollars for a $250,000 education.
That's what I'm talking about. $500. I mean, $500,000 for one, and the other one is millions. Right?
So what was that?
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
That's just too much money.
And see the fraud in this whole thing. And I really, I talked about this on. There's a iHeart radio show that I used to do every Saturday. I think it's AM 1150. And we've been talking about this. They call it power, money, and politics.
Yeah.
So we're talking about student loans and the same thing. And they interviewed me and said, so what do you think about this? I said, man, let me tell you about this. My loan was taken out back in 1989.
Whoa.
I think. 89 or 90. 89, I think, right?
That's a long time.
It's a long time ago. And the loan was supposed to be for 10 years. 10 years. And even if it was 20 years, that would be 2009, right?
Right. Yes.
Guess how much I still owe?
How much?
$34,000.
How?
From a $50,000 loan, I still owe $34,000.
So you only paid $20,000. Was that interest?
That's what they're saying. That's what they're trying to say. And that's a scam that's going on that the government is doing nothing about, right? And these guys, first it started with Sally Mae.
Yeah.
And then these crooks call themselves Navient. And I'm saying their name on the air because I want people to know about them. They call themselves Navient, Navient. You go online and you'll see a lot of court case, a lot of lawsuits against them because that's what they do. They get you in and then they have you sign all these paperwork and then they come back with all these stupid things that, oh, you owe this and you owe that when you really don't. So part of what my plan is now is to get an attorney and fight this because there's no way I can.
How many years has that been? 1989.
From 89 to 99, that's 10 years. To 2009, that's 20 years.
So 30 years still paying.
30 years, I'm still paying. I still owe more than 50%. Do you see what I'm saying?
Insane.
That's insane. That's crookery. And that's what I'm trying to say that, the government, those are things they should be looking into instead of, trying to prevent people from voting and trying to build some stupid law. I'm on my soapbox today.
Go ahead. Just get it out there because I would be upset today, if you were 50,000. I was thinking your loan was like in the hundreds.
50,000 was my loan. 50,000. And the loan was for my community college program, my 2-year degree.
Oh, my God.
So when I did my undergrad, that didn't even affect it because I paid out of my pocket.
Oh, my God. So this is for your 2-year degree.
2-year degree.
That's insane.
$50,000.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable.
And it wasn't, and that was something in the news with 45 that they were putting some legislation to forgive loans because they were saying it's just ridiculous how much money. If you calculated it all up, it's like trillions of dollars.
Well, Obama was trying to forgive those loans, but this guy now
he reverted it, didn't he?
He reversed it, and he's saying, okay, we're going to let these little loan entities do whatever they want. We're not going to regulate them. So now they can do whatever they want, and we're the ones suffering.
Wow.
Oh,
yeah, there
man,
has
I'm
to
telling
be.
you.
There has to be. Yeah,
you.
That
So
requires some lawsuits.
I am getting ready. They did some class. If you go online and you type up Navient, Navient,
okay.
student loan, you'll see all kind of lawsuit against them because they did all kinds of class action. I don't like those class action suits because when it's all settled and done, you end up getting $5. And the government get the rest of the money.
Right,
See what
exactly.
I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't like those. I rather just fight it myself and win my money.
Yeah, and or at least get that whole
Exactly.
You don't give me anything; just wipe out that $34,000, and I'm done.
So
let's call that paid in full,
so
and I'm done.
That's my next lawsuit. That I'm
I don't blame you because that would be. I did mine a little different. I paid along the way, but and that's one of the things, and I think and it's great. We're having this conversation because that's going to lead right into our guest today. Mm-hmm. So we have two moms that actually are raising young their daughters to be moguls and to be to their empire, to create their empire. So really teaching our children how to be entrepreneurial. I think the college thing is important, but I think you can be more creative about college. And nowadays, you don't have to spend all that money. You can do online college. You can do an online webinar course at Harvard or Yale or anywhere where you feel that'll be prestigious enough to put on your resume. But at this point, they're even saying, and I sit in an initiative with the Milken Institute, and they're saying that nano degrees are the way to go. That unless you're going to be a professional, a lawyer or a doctor, those are the only individuals that need to be spending all of that money
in a classroom.
Because here's my argument. My argument is if I got my degree and let's say I got my degree in 1950 or 1960 or even for that matter 1970. Nothing that I learned is relevant today.
Right.
I would have had to have gotten my degree in 2010 for my degree to be maybe relevant, and I'm on the backside of relevance. I'm at the tail end of relevance.
Yeah,
so,
that is true.
So, because if I didn't study computer science or coding or artificial AI or biochemistry, what am I going to do in this day and age? Not a darn thing. If I went to and got a literary arts degree, what is that going to have done for me in this day? In this day, I can't get a job.
It's ridiculous, man.
And the only people that's going to ask you for a degree, if you don't have the experience, is government entities.
Yep.
That's the only one's going to ask you, or if you're going to be teaching at a college or a university, then that's a different. But I think helping our children, and this is this was funny. I'm teaching my QuickBooks class. Yeah. So I went to go get my handouts copied. So I'm at Staples, and I just went into the service and just was going to copy my 10 little copies. Yeah. So there was a young lady standing next to me. She's Gen X. And so she was struggling, and so I'm looking at the corner of my eye. I came in, copied my 10 sets, and they're stapled and everything. And I'm on my way out the door, and she's still over here with one little piece of paper. Yeah. And I said, do you need help? Because she's looking around, and there was nobody to service. She goes, this won't go through. So she was trying to copy her W-2. Yeah. And so, and I was like, well, maybe you need to squish in the sides, to make it to adjust the eyes, right? Yeah. So it still wouldn't go through, I think, because it had something with the preparations. Yeah. So I said, well, if it won't work that way, I lifted up the copier and put it in. She goes,
she didn't even know that existed.
She said, so they haven't even taught our children how to use a photocopier.
That's amazing. That's amazing that you said that, because
they don't even teach our children to use a photocopier.
I was watching a show on MTV. I think it was 3 or 4 weeks ago. And they had two millennials in there. And you know those old rotary phones?
Right, so they didn't know how to dial it. Like, what is
They gave them the phone and say, I want you to make a call to your friend.
And they like push it because they don't know nothing about this.
They did not know what to do with the phone.
Right, so they're not teaching our children about old equipment that may be still at an office. They're not teaching them how to use a photocopy. Now, if they're going to come out of college or they're going to intern somewhere, they have to go in. They have to know how to use office supplies. Can you imagine if they can't use the photocopy, what they would do with an old time typewriter? They won't have a clue. They will come out with their MBAs and a $250,000 loan. And they won't know how to use.
You know, I'm laughing. I'm not really laughing at the millennials themselves, but it's just a process. You know?
It's the process. So we didn't teach our children practicality.
Exactly.
They're not being. They're taught theory all day of the week.
Unbelievable.
But when you come out of the theory out of school, and that's why a lot of them can't get jobs.
Jeez.
Right, and then that's your same with the people that's going. We want to keep coal.
Yeah.
But who's using coal?
That's what I'm saying. They don't get it.
They don't get it. You have to. So entrepreneurship is one thing that I know that you are constantly flow.
Right.
You're fluid, right?
And you always have to change. You got to change with the times.
Right.
You know?
You got to see where the trends are about to go so you can make a pivot.
Exactly.
And whatever you start. I know, and we've had this conversation so many times on this show, my business has evolved and it's flowed in, flowed out.
Yeah.
It's totally changed from when I started it 30 years ago.
Because when you started back in the day, they probably have those trial balance sheets where you got to do your ledger and your journal entries and all of that. Then came QuickBooks and all of that.
And even QuickBooks over the 30 years that I've used QuickBooks, it has totally changed.
Yeah.
In fact, I was at the Urban League and they have a new bookkeeper, controller over there. And so I was getting ready to start my class. She goes, "You teach QuickBooks?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh my God." She goes, "I think the last time she used 20, let's see, what did she use? 2011 or 2009 was the last version that she worked on. And there's been a lot of changes because
since then.
In fact, 2014, QuickBooks made a lot of changes because it became online, and then it's got applications to go along with it. You know, and the whole, and it's amazing to me because so many people have an aversion to using any of the software, but there's so many of them out there. Yeah. Of course, QuickBooks is to me like the top of the line. It's like going to get a Bentley, because it does everything you need. But there's some other, some Lexuses and some other things up underneath it that will put your money in, take your money out, and capture that, and then create a financial report, which is all you really need, as opposed to your boxes of receipts.
Right.
So, but I tell you, when I went to school, we had accounting, and I told the young lady, and she was like looking at me like I was a goddess. And I was like, "Sweetie, I've been working since I was 17 years old, and I don't even want to tell you how old I am. But just to say it's 30 plus years." And I said, so I have worked in an office since I got out of college, even before I went to college. And I said, and so she goes, "Oh, all of that experience." I said, "I've had lots of experience." And she goes, "What do you do now?" I said, "I have my own business, and I teach people how to run a business and train employees." She goes, "Oh my God." And I said, "But I had one advantage over you." And when I went to school, and I went to high school here, when I went to school, we actually, in 12th grade, I had two classes. One was being single and living on my own, and being married and taking care of a household and having a family. So those were my life skill classes that I had. So I knew how to balance my checkbook. I knew how to go look for an apartment. I knew how to fill out a job application. I knew everything about how to live on my own outside of my parents' house. And that was part of the course. They don't get nothing like that.
This was definitely a well-deserved conversation right here, because a lot of this stuff, are stuff that, people out there really need to know. Even some of them were the millennials on the upper end, closer to, 34.
And we even have some of our older individuals that life has changed, or they worked at federal government companies that everything is very segmented, right? You only work on their software, so you don't know how a real computer really works.
They got to relearn everything.
They got to relearn everything. So it's all about refueling and reskilling.
This is certainly a necessary conversation, and if any of you out there want to participate in this, you could give us a call during the show, and we could talk a little bit. But we're at the bottom of the hour. We're going to take a break right now. And once we come back on the other side of the break, we're going to bring on our very special
guest. I'm really excited about it. She's out of the daughter is from my biz camp.
Very good.
And so that's 2 years ago. So
I can't wait to see what she learned in the biz camp.
Yeah, well, she was actually in business, but she's learned a lot. She actually even teaching what I'm teaching
Really? Well, that's even more. I don't want to put too much pressure on her, but it's even more reason I want to see, because I know you're a very good instructor, and if you taught her, then I know she learned well. So we're going to go ahead and come back. And then before that, during the break, or take us into the break, we're going to do another world premiere of my promo video for Buchanan and Associates. This is a brand new one, fresh off the press, and I'd like you guys to watch it and give me your input and tell me what you think. So let's take a break.
All righty.
Subcontractors and small businesses are very good at performing their craft. But when it comes to managing their paperwork and efficiently running their business, not so much. That is why Buchanan and Associates, a multiple award-winning supplier diversity business management, technical support, coaching, and compliance firm is here to help you. Buchanan and Associates possesses core competencies in small business paperwork and government compliance, back office management and business support, business infrastructure and organizational development, light rail transportation program management, assisting small businesses in packaging and submitting their minority, woman-owned, and disadvantaged business enterprise certifications. We even match you up with contract opportunities. Buchanan and Associates has delivered more than 7,500 hours of training to subcontractors by preparing them to become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready with the ability to quickly access key documents in seconds. Buchanan and Associates help subcontractors accurately prepare, manage, and submit certified payroll, contract compliance, and labor compliance reports to primes so that they can get paid on time without delays. If you need to meet your disadvantaged business or small business enterprise participation goals, Buchanan and Associates can help you. If you need a qualified and experienced firm to oversee your subcontractors so that you can successfully complete your projects, Buchanan and Associates can help you. We help all businesses organize and set up their company the right way so that they can formally pursue contracts. Buchanan and Associates has assisted subcontractors and primes secure more than $90 million in contract awards. What are you waiting for? Contact Buchanan and Associates today, the small business paramedic. Go to www.thebuchanangroup.net and begin saving now. Small businesses spend more than $500 million each year combined trying to find missing or replace missing paperwork. Hey, small businesses, are you tired of losing out on business opportunities because your paperwork is not in order? And don't you hate having to register in multiple websites just to find a single procurement opportunity that may not even be worth your time? Well, worry no more. Small Biz Pro is the solution to your problems. Small Biz Pro is an all-in-one cloud-based business management, compliance, and procurement assistance software platform that keeps small businesses organized, contract-ready, bank loan-ready, with quick access to procurement opportunities, as well as market research data. Here are some of the features and benefits that you receive when you use Small Biz Pro to run your business daily. Superior record keeping at your fingertips. Back office management and compliance. Quick access to bids and procurement opportunities in government databases. It allows you to conduct easy market research and gather industry statistics. Government certification preparedness and compliance checklists. Easy HR and general operations management functionality. Bank loan readiness preparation and cash flow management. Certified payroll and labor compliance reporting. Business dictionary with defined business terms. A cloud-based business management platform that keeps small businesses organized and ready. Even nonprofits. Business documents securely stored in the cloud. Data fully encrypted and protected by triple firewall reinforcements. On-the-spot document retrieval for quick decision-making. Bank-level data security for compliance. Document expiration alerts and advanced notifications. It uses security restrictions to block out unauthorized users. And much more. Try it out today for only $5 for the first 30 days. What are you waiting for? Go to www.smallbizpro.net and register now, or your competitors will. Small Biz Pro, keeping small businesses organized, business ready, and contract ready.
Thank you. Hey, Patricia.
So we're back on the Business Zone with...
Oh, Crystal. I'm sorry. She needed a headphone. Caught me off guard.
You can tell we're having a lot of fun here in the studios today. So for those of you who are just tuning in, this is the Business Zone, and the Business Zone is a business show wherein supply diversity, small businesses, entrepreneurship come together to provide opportunities and success for small businesses. And this show is a brainchild of no other than my co-host here, Crystal. So she approached me and said, hey, I got this great idea. What do you guys think? So we started talking about it, tossing the idea, and say, hey, let's do it. And we launched the show 3 years ago, right?
Yeah.
3 years ago, the Business Zone has been launched, and it's been phenomenal ever since. So, Crystal, your brainchild is doing well.
It's doing well, and it's doing what I really wanted to do. It was to highlight our businesses in our community. It was for us to share our knowledge. It was to help grow our brands individually. And it is like when you look at the trends on what's the best way to really promote your business and to really expand your brand, podcasting is like right there on top, right next to webinars. Yeah. And so that's my next transition, so you can reach a larger mass of people. Right. But one of the things that, for those that know me and have known me for as long as I've been in business, I have a moniker that's called the People Collector. And so networking is huge to me. And when I started my business, that's what I focused on. Yeah. So in those journeys, it'll be amazing how I connect all of these people that's on the show today, and including our second guest. Yeah. So through the second degree of transition, and when we do our latter segment today on providing a tip to our audience, I'm going to tell you how effective networking is. Yeah. So today our guest, and I'm very happy to have both of them. I've actually been trying to get them here for a minute. And since Cheyenne, she was in our Biz Camp in 2017. She was our second place winner. Yeah. And so right there, I think it was a lot of stuff going on, so I couldn't get her in. I had a couple other students that came in, but Cheyenne, and so her business is a organic organic vegan nail polish line. You have a picture of it. See everybody right here. This young lady.
Organic vegan.
Vegan.
Never heard of that before. That's my first time.
So she's going to tell us what that means. Yes. But her mom is also an entrepreneur.
Really?
So her mom here, Mrs. Tasanta Hogan, is the creator of sensational soaps and all-natural skincare line for both men and women. A modern-day Renaissance woman described as always having an entrepreneurial spirit. She graduated from Cal State University with a degree in business administration with an emphasis in human research, so you can use your degree. Upon
For sure.
Yours is useful still.
It's usable.
Upon attaining her degree, Hogan set her sights on seeking a career. After many interviews with a drastic economy, when it hit, she received no response and soon decided to take matters in her own hands by establishing her own business, and one that would offer increased responsibility and freedom while allowing her to spend time with her family. So then we're going to jump on down, because the other hat that she wears, and so many of us have to wear many hats, right? She is a founding partner of Raising a Mogul, and Raising a Mogul is the number one parent manager community on the globe. It's a community for a child that has a huge dream and need help supporting and managing them. You want to learn more about business basics? Who can better support you than your mom or your dad and raising your young mogul? You're doing business well, but you may want to learn more about it to do it even better. She coaches her daughter and has helped her start her own nail polish line at a tender age of 10. And Cheyenne has been on The Real talk show, Teen Boss Magazine, second place in the 2017 Urban League Biz Camp. Thank you, guys. Sponsored by Nifty. She has also been awarded by the NAACP. Rhonda, did you hear that? Woman in Spotlight as a young entrepreneur in 2016. And recently she was recognized as the Black Businesswoman Rock as her Eyes Matter Award. Not only is Tasanta a business owner, but a mother of two, ages 13 and 15, and a wife to Mr. Kevin Hogan of 14 years. And throughout the community, she has helped countless organizations to include Celebrate Life Ministry, Another Connection, Mom Suite, Sister Network, Phenomenal Girls Do Phenomenal Things, First Ladies of Los Angeles, Kids in the Spotlight, and a host of other organizations. She has also been given back to Normandy Christian and Woodcrest Elementary School by way of some fundraisers through her business. She also sits on the board of
That's enough.
You had enough. So as you can see, she has done some phenomenal things for yourself, for the community, and definitely for your daughter. Yeah. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having us.
I'm so happy to have you here. Welcome. So tell me, and I don't know are we Skyping in the partner? Okay. How did all this start?
So we were on a project. Well, I'm going to talk about Raising a Mogul because you guys just read my entire life. We were on a project that was pretty much not great. And so we were sitting and we were talking. We was like, you know what? Let's do something together. She said, well, I have this platform, Raising a Mogul. She's the founder of Raising a Mogul, Tamara Zantel. And she said, how about we just come together and do something together? And I was like, okay. And so that bad project turned into something even greater. Wow. So since then, and we were in Dallas when this happened, and since then it's just been moving pieces that's been super, super fast, and we just been going like a million miles per hour on top of all the other stuff that we have in our lives as well.
Wow. So Raising a Mogul, is that an organization?
Yeah, so Raising a Mogul is the number one parent manager where we actually help parents raise young moguls, give them the knowledge, the tools, and the equipment needed to raise young moguls. So that includes giving them information about marketing, branding, social media, how to become a local celebrity, and so forth. So we have a community, a free community on Facebook. We also have a society where parents can log in at their leisure and sit down in the portal and be able to take these classes that's in the portal. We have over 50 classes, and we also bring on experts that are able to talk to our community as well. And then we're working on a manual. We also have a summit coming up in June. It's just a lot that's going on.
Wow. We really need to, with the Biz Camp, we need to really partner with you, because we're putting out 50 kids a year, but after they leave us, then it just nothing happens.
Because we also have a chapter partner that is throughout, not even just Los Angeles, throughout the world. We have chapter partners here in Los Angeles. We have chapter partners in Florida. We have chapter partners in Atlanta. So we have chapter partners throughout who also have their own meetup as well.
Okay, so we could actually direct our children over to you after they're done. Rhonda and I have been talking about creating an entrepreneurial club so that there's more connection and that they don't come up with this fantastic idea. You'll take them? Yeah, so because, even now I pulled back some of the kids that were in our summer program, and after they left, that was it. There was no more thought process going on.
And see, that's the thing about many of these programs, why they fail, because after you prepare them and you get them to a certain level, then nothing else happens afterwards.
Right, because there's no one else nurturing the entrepreneurial spirit.
So it has to be a 360-degree process.
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
so,
absolutely.
And that would be a perfect mind. So let me ask you this before I get to Cheyenne. Were your parents entrepreneurs?
No.
Oh.
No, they were not. I decided to do something different. I wanted to go to work. But of course, based on the bio you read, the economy was going bad. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? Let me make soap with my kids for fun. I made soap with my kids for fun. And then I had a lady say, hey, do you know how to make cold process soap? I was making melt and pour soap for my kids just for fun. And because you put it in the microwave, it was safe. Cold process requires lye. And my babies were little, so I didn't want them to get a hold of the lye. And so I was like, yeah, I knew how to make that. I did not know how to make that.
Well, that's
how we all get started.
And that's how I started
That's how we all get started.
So I just dived in. I learned so much. And then as she was growing, I was like, you know what? I can transfer this information straight to her. So she'll be able to go fishing too. I'm going to give her the rod and she'll be able to fish.
That's excellent.
Good. Yeah. That's very good.
So Cheyenne, what have you learned from your industrious mom over here about being an entrepreneur and how, where did this idea come from your nail polish?
So this idea all started when I was probably like 7 years old. And
move the microphone a little closer to you.
There you go. I was like 8 or 7 years old, and I was playing in my mom's makeup, and I had like made a mini makeup video. Okay. And I had sent it to my friends, and then from there, she had seen the video, and of course, she was mad because I was in her makeup. But then
get out of my makeup.
But then it changed into, well, this is something that she really enjoys, because I was always into beauty. I was always like around it and always surrounded by it. So then she was like, okay, well, this is an idea, or this is something that she actually wants to do. So that's how Shy's World came about. And we picked nail polish because I used to always get my nails done with her. I used to always get my feet done. So then it was like, well, let's do nail polish.
Okay.
So how old are you, Cheyenne?
I'm 14 now.
You're 14?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I thought she was like 17.
Well, that's because she's a businesswoman.
Wow, 14.
Yeah.
So what do you like best about this journey you're on?
Probably like because I don't have to have anyone over me. So it's like I get to make my own rules.
That's what we all like about entrepreneurship. We don't take orders from anyone, right? We don't like that.
Yeah.
That's very good.
So what's your future plan? I know you're going to continue to grow your business. Is college on the horizon? And if you are, what do you want to study?
I do want to go to college, so I want to either go to Oregon, UCLA, USC, of course, and San Diego State or Georgia State. And I want to be an OBGYN.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a little different than what you're doing right now. Why is that? What's the
so
motivator?
Before I want to be an OBGYN or an L&D nurse, so labor and delivery, because I was always like I always loved children, but then I wanted to be in the medical industry, so then I was like, okay, well, let's do the babies. So
plus there's a lot of money in there.
and that's interesting. That was when I was in New York, and this is the other connection. So our guest that's coming on Skype, she's in New York, Buffalo, New York.
Yeah,
and
that's your hometown.
That's where I grew up. And so when I was a kid, younger than you, because I moved out here when I was about your age. That was my plan. I was going to medical school to be a pediatrician. I was working as a candy striper, and then when my mom, when they got a divorce, all that changed. But I came from a family of entrepreneurs, so we had already had very much like what you're doing with your daughter. She hadn't even thought about creating a whole organization for it. But pretty much everybody in my family are entrepreneurs, and so we made dresses together. Oh wow! And she taught us how to sew, and so we made little pinafore dresses with the apron, and then we sewed it. And,
amazing.
So that's what I did when I was a kid. So that's amazing.
Nice.
So let me ask this mom. So you started, as most businesses, because you're meeting a need in the community, in the marketplace, and solving a pain. So what was the motivation behind the vegan or organic, and how do you make it different from regular nail polish?
I'll let her answer that.
Okay.
So my nanny, she was a 2-year cancer survivor. So of course we wanted to not only cater to people who can't wear certain chemicals on them, or even young kids. Like my younger, I don't have siblings, but my younger cousins. So we wanted to also cater to them too, because of course now they wear nail polish. They do get their little nails done. So we wanted to think about them, because it wasn't just for the older crowd. It was also for my age, and I was only 10 years old. So of course nail polish was a new thing for me to start exploring the colors, since I was at that age. So that's another thing that we had to think about.
Okay.
Great.
And so was the first nail polish created at home? Or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what's the distribution process here? How did you guys?
So we have a dedicated area in our back home. Our entire back home is dedicated to us making products.
Okay.
We have a kitchen back there. We have a restroom, the whole nine. So we make all of our products back there. So that's how we distribute everything, and we make everything by hand and so forth, and we just distribute it ourselves.
So I wanted to know this, because I'm an information junkie when it comes to entrepreneurship. So when you were trying to put this process together, were you able to do some market research to see how many people are allergic to regular nail polish and how many the vegan approach would benefit? Were you able to do that at all?
Well, I was 10 years old again, so I was at a very young age, so I wasn't really focused on it. It was at that time, it was just something that was fun, and it was cool and interesting. So it did take time. So my mom, so it did take us a longer time to get into the business mode. So now it's everyday thing. So now I'm fully in business mode. So now I know how to.
So you can do that.
So there's another product, right? As well. Did I just hear recently a rumor that something got into Target?
No. So that's Tamara. Tamara Zantel.
So this is going to be in Target tomorrow?
No.
Tamara Zantel is the next guest.
Okay.
Her baby.
Her baby's the one that's in Target.
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm thinking, I'm going, wow, this is going to be in Target?
So how do you sell it now? Where is it sold now?
So right now we do online sales, and we are in Culver City at All That and More Boutique, and in Carpinteria at Seashore.
Seaside Makers.
Makers.
Okay, so who's making the initial inquiries as to who will carry the line? That you and your mom, you guys go together?
So I make the initial, and actually Carpinteria, they just reached out to us.
Really?
It's random.
How did they hear about you guys?
Because we're on social media, so I do all the marketing for social media for her. So that's the only thing I do. So she makes the product, she labels the product, she ships the product. So I train her how to do everything, because I have my own business too. So I have my own life. I have my own businesses, I should say, with an S. So I train her how to do everything. So I will do the marketing piece for her. So she'll be able to do, the rest of the part of the business.
Do you guys have videos on this?
Not yet.
Okay,
Not
so
yet. Yes.
that's the next step. I'm very passionate, as you can see, about videos. So that would be the next step. Now, I don't know if you guys already have your video guys or not.
She did one video recently. It was like a commercial about her product for social media marketing and so forth.
Okay. Yeah, you guys want to have some video, multiple. Crystal can tell you, multiple videos. They said in order to be effective on social media, you got to have anywhere from 10 to 15 videos.
Now, there is some, because when I went looking, and I just picked the one with the short.
Yeah, we have swatchers who does their YouTube videos and swatch her nail polish, and they do a whole synopsis of the collections that she does. So they do videos as well. But I know exactly what you're talking about. And for me to even go live today, this is major. Like,
this is good. That's good.
The live is cool.
Now, Sephora, right? That's the name.
Yes.
Have you guys talked to them?
No, not yet. Yeah. However, like I said, Tamara Zantel, her baby, she's been in business for 9 years. So they have talked to Sephora.
Right.
Yeah. So it's that's a whole nother beast that we are grateful to be able to be partnered with Tamara, who we watch and just be in awe of her daughter as well.
That's amazing.
That's just phenomenal. Yeah. Zandra, last year when I was teaching the class, I used her as one of my prototypes for youth entrepreneurship. So I played a video in my class for the kids, and so. And she's just phenomenal. Yeah. So then I went to a speakers conference in Kansas, and so the young lady, and I didn't connect them at this point. She was sitting at the table with me, so she told me she was from Buffalo, New York. Yeah. So that was like, oh, okay, that's a Kenyanship right there. And then So then she got up like the day after or 2 days later in the conference, and she started talking about the lip gloss she had made, and the reason she made it was because her father wouldn't give her the money to buy. And I'm like, how come I've heard this story before? This sounds very familiar. And then something else she said, I went, oh my God, you're the... But then I had also met her at the Power Network conference a couple of years prior to that, but she was much younger then. So, and then she's got 3 or 4 books, and she is just out there doing her thing. But she started her business when she was 9, right? Yeah, so that's... And so I was telling the kids about her, and I had shown her whole... I think I did like one of her 6-minute videos. So I had really gotten into it. I'm thinking, why does this sound familiar?
Now, tell me about the Biz Camp when she came to the Biz Camp, how that worked out, how the idea got presented.
She actually went with her existing business, whereas the other kids,
which one was the existing?
She came with her nail polish, and so she talked about it. Because in the class that particular year, and which is what we're doing now, is what was a social responsibility, which would be either environmental or something physical or services. And so, of course, this is a vegan nail. So she was already in business, and so she just developed her business plan from that. You actually even had a business plan, so you really just presented. Yeah. You added on to it and learned.
So you already had a business plan.
She probably had a plan mentally, but she actually did that business plan herself.
Right.
Because during that time, it was so funny. We were not even talking. I didn't talk to her for like 2 weeks.
Wow.
I was just like so livid, and so she did her own plan by herself. She presented. I was there to support when she presented, and when she went to the second round, I was there to support as well. But she really did that herself. Yeah.
And so this is going to be the next question. So how do we, because when you're the manager and the mom, the momager, so how do we balance that because, entrepreneurship gives you such a sense of independence and you're doing your own business and you're making your own money. So what's the strategy here for being a mom manager?
So, so it's being a mommy and then allowing her also to have her playtime too. So it's like having a calendar, and so she knows when to turn on and when to turn off. Okay. So I normally let her know a week in advance of what's going on for the week that's coming up. So in the meantime, she knows that, okay, I'm mommy right now, and I need you to do A, B, and C. Okay. For the most part, she knows how to do the regular stuff, keeping her room clean and all this other stuff. And school, I don't worry, because she's very, very organized. As far as when it's time for us to come and speak or have an event or so forth, like we speak tomorrow for the Delta Gyms tomorrow. And so I'll let her know, hey, I need you to be on. So we're going to be speaking A, B, and C, blah, blah, blah. So she gets a little pep talk before, we go places, so she knows how to, respond and act. So it's just, it is many hats. And at first we were going like this because we couldn't understand each other, nor could she understand me. I didn't understand her. So now it's more fluid. It's more understandable. We get it now. And I allow her to have her space too, because she's still a teenager, so I want her to not even, I wouldn't say say balance. I would say make it just harmony to just, come together. So like tonight she has date night with daddy. Okay. Tomorrow after she's speaking, she's going to hang out with friends. So it allows her to still be a kid.
That's good.
Okay.
So we're at the top of the hour, Crystal. So did you want to, on the other side of the commercial, did you want to talk to her and her friend?
Yeah. On the other side of the commercial.
Okay.
So we'll bring her back in because the other night, Dr. Najima is not here yet. So.
Okay.
So you're going to plug her through?
So you're watching the Business Zone. You're watching the Business Zone with Crystal.
Crystal? I got lost again.
Are you here today,
I'm here now.
You're watching the Business Zone with
Crystal.
And Gilbert Buchanan, our very special guest in the studio.
Mom.
Tashanta Hogan.
Cheyenne Hogan.
And they've got a very wonderful product here. This product is a vegan nail polish product. And when we come back on the other side of the hour, we'll talk a little bit more about that. And we've got another guest online waiting to speak. So give us a call if you want to participate in our conversation. 323-293-3375. 323-293-3375. You're on the Business Zone.
All right.
Small businesses spend more than $500 million each year combined trying to find missing or replace missing paperwork. Hey, small businesses, are you tired of losing out on business opportunities because your paperwork is not in order? And don't you hate having to register in multiple websites just to find a single procurement opportunity that may not even be worth your time? Well, worry no more. Small Biz Pro is the solution to your problems. Small Biz Pro is an all-in-one cloud-based business management, compliance, and procurement assistance software platform that keeps small businesses organized, contract-ready, bank loan-ready, with quick access to procurement opportunities, as well as market research data. Here are some of the features and benefits that you receive when you use Small Biz Pro to run your business daily. Superior record keeping at your fingertips. Back office management and compliance. Quick access to bids and procurement opportunities in government databases. It allows you to conduct easy market research and gather industry statistics. Government certification preparedness and compliance checklists. Easy HR and general operations management functionality. Bank loan readiness preparation and cash flow management. Certified payroll and labor compliance reporting. Business dictionary with defined business terms. A cloud-based business management platform that keeps small businesses organized and ready. Even nonprofits. Business documents securely stored in the cloud. Data fully encrypted and protected by triple firewall reinforcements. On-the-spot document retrieval for quick decision-making. Bank-level data security for compliance. Document expiration alerts and advanced notifications. It uses security restrictions to block out unauthorized users, and much more. Try it out today for only $5 for the first 30 days. What are you waiting for? Go to www.smallbizpro.net and register now, or your competitors will. Small Biz Pro, keeping small businesses organized, business ready, and contract ready. Small businesses spend more than $500 million each year combined trying to find missing or replace missing paperwork. Hey, small businesses, are you tired of losing out on business opportunities because your paperwork is not in order? And don't you hate having to register in multiple websites just to find a single procurement opportunity that may not even be worth your time? Well, worry no more. Small Biz Pro is the solution to your problems. Small Biz Pro is an all-in-one cloud-based business management, compliance, and procurement assistance software platform that keeps small businesses organized, contract-ready, bank loan-ready, with quick access to procurement opportunities, as well as market research data. Here are some of the features and benefits that you receive when you use Small Biz Pro to run your business daily. Superior record keeping at your fingertips. Back office management and compliance. quick access to bids and procurement opportunities in government databases. It allows you to conduct easy market research and gather industry statistics, government certification preparedness and compliance checklists, easy HR and general operations management functionality, bank loan readiness preparation and cash flow management, certified payroll and labor compliance reporting, business dictionary with defined business terms, a cloud-based business management platform that keeps small businesses organized and ready, even nonprofits, business documents securely stored in the cloud, data fully encrypted and protected by triple firewall reinforcements, on-the-spot document retrieval for quick decision-making, bank-level data security for compliance, document expiration alerts, and advanced...
Hi, and welcome back to the Business Zone with...
Gilbert Buchanan.
And Crystal Mitchell. Welcome, welcome. We've had a wonderful conversation with Tasanta Hogan and her daughter Cheyenne, all about her business, Shy's World. And mom's also a very enterprising entrepreneur on top of being a mom manager.
A momager.
A momager, right. So now we're going to bring on her partner, who partner in raising a mogul. And I just think it's absolutely wonderful. Hi, ladies. Can you see us?
Mm-hmm. I can see you. Okay. We can see you, yes.
Hi. Tamara Santel, right?
Zantel.
Tamara Zantel.
Zantel. And your daughter, Zandra Cunningham. Welcome to the Business Zone. We're so happy to have you here.
Thank you for the invitation. We're excited to be here.
You're so welcome. I was telling them, and I don't know if you heard when you were on the phone, how we met at the conference when we were there for Dr. West.
Yes.
And Zandra was doing her thing. But prior yeah, she was doing her thing. So welcome both of you. So Tamara is the other partner of raising a mogul. So they're both helping their daughters become moguls. You guys are the black Chris Kardashians. Chris, I didn't say the other ones, but that's basically what Chris has done for her family is to raise her moguls. Yeah. And so your mom, your daughter, your sister, you actually were a licensed mortuary scientist, and you were specialized in managing human capital and resolving pressing issues and making things happen. And for the past 25 years, you've been pushing, pulling, and lifting others to their greatness. So you grew up in Boston, and you are raising your child to do what you were doing for everybody else, right?
Absolutely. That
is fantastic. So as I was speaking to Sandra, how do you manage, first of all, Zandra, I saw one of your videos when you were saying you wanted to make lip gloss and your dad wouldn't allow you to buy it, or he wouldn't allow you to buy it, so you made your own. Mm-hmm. Okay. So when I tell that story, other parents in the room is like, yes! Because I use your story when I'm teaching other kids about entrepreneurship. So I show your video for the last 4 years. So when I met you and I heard you tell your story on stage, I'm going, why is that familiar? So you were already a celebrity to me before I even met you. So tell me, what is the most value you've gotten out of this journey that you're on?
I've received tons of value over the years. So I would say that I guess the most impactful amount of value that I've gotten currently would just have to be the seeing other kids and teens really just get inspired by my story. And like you said, you showing it to other kids, and hopefully that'll trigger something in their brain like, oh, this is possible. This is something I can do now. I can start taking action on my idea, my hobby, my dream. So starting to see other like-minded teens and kids start to push forward with their ideas and actually turn it into to a real thing and know that it's possible is probably the most valuable thing that I'm getting out of it right now. I mean, because especially since it was a time when teen entrepreneurship wasn't a word, it wasn't a thing, and it was so hard to find another person, another kid or another teen who was interested in what I was interested in, but then also still have the guts to start a company. So it's definitely really exciting, a really exciting time. And it's just, I'm just happy that I've been here throughout the journey to see it and watch it go from nothing to something.
Fantastic.
You know, this is amazing. I'm listening to
both of them.
I'm listening to these two young entrepreneurs speaking, and I'm just so excited and proud about you guys. You guys make me so excited. And I'm sure it makes Crystal excited too, knowing the fact that you guys went through her program and now look at where you are. So let me ask this question right here. What is one of your biggest challenges that you are experiencing or have experienced as far as entrepreneurship is concerned? Is it financing? Is it people blocking you, shutting the door on you, won't let you in? What are some of the biggest challenges?
So, yes to all of those. So more so in the beginning stages, I would say the hardest part and the challenges really started with since it's being so rare and it wasn't really a thing. So that meant there wasn't a lot of programs or a lot of resources out there for me being interested in business to learn about it. So there was a lot of me being the only kid in the room and really just being pushed into spaces that they technically didn't say no kids allowed, but no kids is really expected to be there. And me showing up and kind of pushing my way, my mom pushing me into spaces like that, and getting people to take me seriously too was a big challenge. A lot of people thought it was cool and it was like cute, but they didn't think like I was serious or that I was really the CEO running this company. So, or being able behind the scenes formulating and being an actual maker in the process of creating and formulating skincare products. So, it took a lot of people taking me seriously, but that actually pushed me to really just grow and dig deeper into becoming an expert, and not only in the maker world, but then also in the business world as well. So that forced me to graduate from university at Buffalo, their entrepreneurial program, like all adult class. I graduated from that when I was 13, and that just really just pushed me on a different level in regards to the rebranding and making it Xandra what you see now, and now the products are now sold and sourced across the nation, which is absolutely amazing. And because of that, Target and all these other big mass retail partnerships that we have come into contact with and have built a relationship over the past couple years. Now we're looking for outside funding and finances and investors.
So that's the new challenge.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
How old are you? How old are you?
I'm 18 now.
You're 18 now?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you guys are just so phenomenal. I'm listening to you guys speak and I'm going, okay, when I was their age, was I this brilliant?
So because we come from the same hometown, we just make them brilliant.
I know.
That's all I can say.
They make them brilliant in Buffalo, huh?
They make them brilliant in Buffalo. I grew up in Buffalo. I left when I was 14 years old. But I still have a brother and some uncle and some other family members that are living in Buffalo. And but I haven't been back since we came out here. Because when my parents told me we were coming to California, I was like, we're leaving the snow? Oh, my God, I'm happy. So I've been to New York City, but never have I ventured back there to that. And so my family's like, aren't you coming back? I said, well, the Buffalo I remember, the only time you guys get heat or it gets heat is in August and in September. And that's
probably only for 2 months, right?
And no, not even 2 months. It's actually for 2 weeks. So I haven't ventured back. But so, Tamara, were you an entrepreneur? Or it didn't look like it. It looked like you were working for a company.
Yes, I was working for a company, but I also started a consulting. I was doing consulting on the side, but it all started with me going to school. I followed the traditional route.
Okay. Okay. And so what is your position in her company? Are you like...
Now my position, I am the COO, so I'm in charge of operations, and I just make sure that everything is going as it should be and that we're actually making money.
Oh, well, that's a good thing, because you cannot be in business as a hobby if you're not making any money.
No.
But congratulations on getting into Target. I saw that a couple weeks ago, and I'm so proud of you guys.
Thank you so much. That was a huge accomplishment. It was definitely something that was on Zandra's list, on her goals, and we checked it off, and now it's on to the next.
Okay, so now you're looking for funding to expand your development.
Yes, absolutely. So as you grow, with small businesses, we were fortunate enough to be able to we pretty much bootstrapped our way throughout the whole experience for the last 9 years. And now that we're at the point where the products are in demand and more major retailers are picking it up, we're going to we're considering outside manufacturing. So in order to do that, you need to have capital on deck. So you cannot grow and expand and keep up with demand if you don't have money.
Right. No, you cannot.
So, right now, all our manufacturing, everything we do is in-house. We have a manufacturing facility right in Buffalo, New York.
Okay.
But we're outgrowing that space and just our capabilities right now.
Oh, okay.
So it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, it's good because you're at that growth spot, that growth place. So now if you're going to mass produce, though, you have to get into a larger space. So what are the opportunities in Buffalo for lending to small business owners for an 18-year-old?
Well, there's actually a large amount of opportunities. We have 43 North, first of all, which is the largest business pitch competition in the world. It's $5 million pitch competition. So Zandra's been able to do a lot of collaborations with the 43 North programming, and she was one of the first ambassadors that they had in order to bring young people into the fold, so they can start learning more about business and start connecting and start learning just more about the venture capitalists and pitching and fundraising ecosystem that's out there. And she actually won one of their pitch competitions about a year ago. Was it a year ago? About a year ago. It's about a year ago now.
Okay.
About a year ago. So she pitched and she won that competition. And there's other opportunities. So really her thing with Buffalo, as the ecosystem changes to more entrepreneurship and supporting small businesses and, growing, small companies into major brands and bringing outside funding in. They call it the Buffalo Billion.
Oh, okay.
She's been able to have, which I'm very fortunate about, a seat at the table during those conversations.
Oh, fantastic.
So not only do collaborations form, but also she's a voice in the change that's happening.
Oh, fantastic. That's pretty, that's really, really awesome. And there was something I was going to say, and she's not old enough, because I was thinking there's another pitch competition out there. It's called Miller Coors, which I believe she has to be 21, but I think they do like $250,000. And then they also partner with them with some of their distribution, and it doesn't have to be a liquor business, but I've actually I'm the co-director of Recycling Black Dollars. So for the last 14, 15 years, we've marketed, and some of the individuals that have gotten won the $250,000, and it's kind of, they use social media as well. So by the time they get done, they almost got about $300,000 in money. So when she turns 21, or I think it's 51% of the company has to be someone over 21.
Listen, age has never been a barrier for us. So no matter what it is, I don't care if you're like, oh, there's horse cattle over there. They're pitching for cattle. They're letting people raise money for whatever. I'm like, let me just look this up and see how we can get in here.
So look under Miller Coors.
That's who I am.
Okay, well, Mom, look under Miller Coors, and I believe the competition should be going on about now. They're actually probably taking applications now. So you might want to look into that. Because if you don't have to pay back a loan, that's a really good thing.
Yes, absolutely.
So you're not in debt, and you can use that on your balance sheet. So I'm going to ask the same question I asked to Santa. So how do you balance being mom and working for daughter?
She thinks you're asking someone.
No, I'm asking you, Tamara.
Oh, you asked. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking to
No, she already told me, and me and her daughter's a little bit younger. So you got a real grown up here. How do you balance, and how have you balanced that for the last 9 years?
Oh goodness. I don't even know if there really is a such thing as balance. I more so like to use the word harmony.
Okay.
So we vibe well together. We vibe well together. And
Okay.
I will say this, I do not envy Tashanta at this year, 14, 15-year-old.
Yeah.
For phase, no. I'm so glad that Xandra has made it over the hump. Okay?
Yeah.
But really, it's all about respecting each other. And I think a lot of us as parents, we come from the school of thought that kids are meant to be seen and not heard.
Right.
Little you, big me, or little me, or big little you, whatever, however that works. It's like we don't respect our children as human beings, as real people sometimes. Right. And we assume that because they're, they're younger or they're not as experienced or whatever, that their voice doesn't need to be heard or isn't as loud or isn't as relevant.
Oh, okay.
So once I realized that she, for one, as a parent, I just always listen to my kids, you know, and I wanted to have open communication with my children. So that philosophy, that practice has really helped us in regards to me now being her employee.
Oh, okay.
I left corporate America to work for my 16-year-old daughter. So I have to respect that she's the boss. I have to respect her opinion, her wants, her wishes. But at the same time, we have a corporation to run. So just like I would challenge my boss when I was running somebody else's firm or somebody else's practice, I have to challenge my boss sometimes. But we all leave, and we travel a lot. Like right now we're on the road. She's on a speaking tour. Okay. And I just have to, she usually trumps things, but mommy always has the final say if it comes down to that.
Well, it's a good thing that you're her partner because 14 and 15 and 16 is a rough age. My mother used to say, lock them in a closet and then take them back out at 18. So it's just the nature of growing into a young woman and butting heads. So it's a good thing that you guys are partners so you can walk her through. At least she'll have a sounding board.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I'm going to ask Cheyenne, so what is it like to work with your mom?
Be honest now.
I feel like it's difficult because we have very different personalities that sometimes are the same. Like, she overreacts a lot, and I'm very just a calm, I understand things, but then I have a very dominant personality, so I don't really like to get told what to do or to do things at certain times. So that's when we collide, but otherwise, we just stay in our own space.
Okay. And so Tamara, the same thing, or actually Xandra, the same thing. What is it like to work with mom? And you've had a longer journey.
Yeah, I would say, it was definitely, it was interesting to have a relationship like that, especially in me starting off so young to then walking into the teen years and me kind of learning who I am and growing into my own person and already having that strong personality in regards to I like what I like. But I feel like our family, how I was raised and just through my grandparents and my brothers, we've always had a really open family, meaning if somebody has an issue, everybody's going to know about it. We're going to talk about it.
It becomes a whole family issue, huh?
Yeah, so it's always been everything was always up for discussion.
Oh, so, good.
So even if it turned into something I'm really upset and I don't want to talk to you, it always ended up being a discussion. Let's move past it and let's hash it out. So not to say there hasn't been tough times, because there has.
Okay.
Last week.
Last week. So both of you,
we talk about it, we move on, and growing and being not only in business and having the mom and daughter relationship, but then also the CEO and the COO relationship. We had to learn each other's spaces, and like you said, I do what I do and you do what you do, meaning if you're actually the marketing and doing all that stuff, I can't come into that territory and be change all of it because I don't like it. So always everything
trust.
You gotta trust it, but then also be open to that constructive criticism, even though it's hard sometimes because I don't want to hear it sometimes, but it's definitely necessary. And like you said, I agree with Cheyenne sometimes because my mother is really dramatic situations and things, and we have different personalities. I'm more so really conserved, and my facial expressions could kind of tell it all, as opposed to me like being real dramatic.
Yeah. And you know, that's interesting though, because even in any kind of working partnership, you're feeding off of each other's strengths, right? Mm-hmm. And then where you have weaknesses, your partner picks up and steps up in that place. So that's really a balance. So if you both were the same, that it could be hard making certain decisions. So somebody has to be able to go, okay, and even the dramatic ones are good.
Yeah.
And
it's come in handy.
In wrapping up right now, because we've got another guest on hold. In wrapping up right now, give us your 2-second info on what people need to know about your business, how they can get a hold of you, and how they can get your product.
And one more would be if you were talking to another entrepreneur, because I'm going to show this to my class next week. What would you, when they're thinking up and creating a business or a business idea, what would be the one advice you'd give to them?
Okay, so I'll answer the. What'd you say?
Just be loud.
Oh, okay. So for the advice for any other kids or youth in general, anybody who is thinking about starting a company, I would say being an entrepreneur is really tough, but it's not impossible. Nothing is impossible. So I would say the best thing that you can do is start. It's a wonderful feeling, being able to be your own boss and do what you love every day, really on your time and on your dime, on everything, and you being able to be your own boss and really just have fun with it. And the cool part about entrepreneurship is you have control over what happens and how you feel about it. And for the most part, if this is something that you really love, you can decide to move forward with it. And if it's something that you figure out that this is really just a hobby for me, then you can move on to something else. So there's no limitations to what the possibilities are or what it looks like. You can make it your own normal and make it your own creation to it. So that would be my advice. And also to
Excellent. So just let the audience know
how to buy it, where to find your product.
Yeah, so my website is xandrabeauty.com, and you can search for the stores in your area near you, and follow me on all social media outlets, all at Xandra Beauty.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's been awesome. So, Miss Cheyenne, what would be your advice to an up-and-coming entrepreneur
group?
I would say don't discount yourself, because even though your business may be in a big, target, and maybe other bigger aspects, like in beauty, there are a lot of different people that are way bigger than me, but never discount yourself, because you always have a place somewhere that sets you different from everybody else.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
And how do we find your product?
At shysworld.com, and my Instagram is Shy's World Shop, and my Facebook is Shy's World.
How do they spell shy? Shy's World.
SHAISWORLD.
Excellent.
And Mogul Moms, how do we find you, and any parent that's looking for advice on how to take their children down this journey?
Oh, that's tomorrow's.
Oh.
She's gone.
Oh,
Tomorrow.
okay.
Go ahead.
There you are.
Go ahead.
So how would they find you guys? And are you open for helping? She was telling me about the network you have, and how would they find that?
Absolutely. So you can find us on all social media outlets at Raising a Mogul, We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, Instagram. We have a free online community, a Facebook community. Costs you nothing, but you can gain the world. Get your whole life when it comes to learning how to parent, level up your children, no matter what it is that they want to do. Just come and connect with an amazing group of parents that are moving and shaking and helping their kids become the next leaders, thought leaders, and change makers.
Fantastic. And I was telling Tasana, I do a biz camp, and we have over 50 kids that we take through a 10-day course. And at the end, they're competing as well, but then at the end, their ideas just usually go dormant. So I'm going to have a conversation with her and how we refer them over to you guys so that they can continue, or at least being inspired to keep going on with their business ideas. I think that would be a great partner.
Absolutely.
A resource.
We would love to partner with you. We would love to connect with you.
So we've been doing this for about 13 years, and Shy was in one of our programs in the summer. So we're gearing up for our next 50, and it's in June. We do a June class and we do a July class. So after they come out, then we probably have the last 4 years of kids that are still in as teens that we can refer over to you guys.
Perfect.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. So we want to thank you all for being on the show today on the Business Zone. This is excellent. And after today's show, you'll be able to find this video on YouTube so you guys can actually use it in your marketing efforts. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you for having us.
I'll send it to you. And next time you guys get to LA, I'd love to meet you here in my hometown, my new hometown.
They'll be here at the end of April.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, I'll look forward to meeting you both, or meeting you again. And thank you guys. It's been so awesome. Thank you for coming on. And I look forward to us being able to do some cross-referencing there.
Absolutely.
And because I think the most important thing right now is us creating entrepreneurial endeavors for our children, and to give them more opportunity and options when they go through their journeys.
Totally.
Excellent.
Thank you so much.
So we're going to go ahead and take another quick break right now and bring on our other guest that's holding online right now. If you want to give us a call just to participate in our conversation, the phone number here is 323-293-3375, 323-293-3375. You are watching the Business Zone with
Crystal,
Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic, and
Tashanta Hogan
and Cheyenne Hogan.
And we're tuning out. Take a break.
Okay.
Small businesses spend more than $500 million each year combined trying to find missing or replace missing paperwork. Hey, small businesses, are you tired of losing out on business opportunities because your paperwork is not in order? And don't you hate having to register in multiple websites just to find a single procurement opportunity that may not even be worth your time? Well, worry no more. Small Biz Pro is the solution to your problems. Small Biz Pro is an all-in-one cloud-based business management, compliance, and procurement assistance software platform that keeps small businesses organized, contract-ready, bank loan-ready, with quick access to procurement opportunities, as well as market research data. Here are some of the features and benefits that you receive when you use Small Biz Pro to run your business daily. Superior record keeping at your fingertips, back office management and compliance, quick access to bids and procurement opportunities in government databases. It allows you to conduct easy market research and gather industry statistics. Government certification preparedness and compliance checklists. Easy HR and general operations management functionality. Bank loan readiness preparation and cash flow management. Certified payroll and labor compliance reporting. Business dictionary with defined business terms. A cloud-based business management platform that keeps small businesses organized and ready, even nonprofits. Business documents securely stored in the cloud. Data fully encrypted and protected by triple firewall reinforcements. On-the-spot document retrieval for quick decision-making. Bank-level data security for compliance. Document expiration alerts and advanced notifications. It uses security restrictions to block out unauthorized users, and much more. Try it out today for only $5 for the first 30 days. What are you waiting for? Go to www.smallbizpro.net and register now, or your competitors will. Small Biz Pro, keeping small businesses organized, business ready, and contract ready.
You so black. You so black. When you smile, the stars come out. You so black when you born, the God come out, black is not. Black when it's wrong and black when it's right. Black is pyramids and mathematics. Black is melanized in magic. Black is televised and in need of drastic black advancement. Black enhances, black with chances, black with privilege, black with pride, black on purpose on the black hand side, black and beautiful, black and blessed and highly favored, praise the Lord, black and blessed, black and so much more, black and nothing less, black and educated, black is brilliant. Black is strong, black is resilient, black is song, black is infinite, like hip-hop or space. Black is grace, black is love, black makes babies, black babies grow up, black is tough, black is hard to do. Black is me, black is you. Black is not something we get to choose, but it is something we get to cherish. It's something we get to wear, and we get to rock this with honor. I'm black like my granddaddy and my great-great-great-great-grandma. Black is that lift every voice and sing. Black is that letting your freedom ring and resound. Black is adjective, adverb, color, and noun. I don't know where that sound is coming from.
So we're back on the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And we're getting ready, Crystal, to talk to our next guest.
Yes, we are. I'm not sure how I hear myself talking because I don't know where it's coming from because my system is off. But I hear myself talking. No, it's off. So anyway, let me get to the to my resume over here, to my other... You hear it? Do you hear it talking? Mm-hmm. I don't know what that is.
Can you put that on mute? Yeah, that's what it... Yeah, there you go. That's
okay. But it should be on. Okay, let me get to real quick. I'm sorry. I got discombobulated there because I was trying to figure out.
As entrepreneurs, we do get discombobulated sometimes. And for those of you who are listening, while Crystal is popping up the... Oh, you got it?
I'm all ready.
Okay.
Okay, so... Our guest, is she on? Or is she just calling in? Is that what she's doing?
Yes,
hi, Dr. Smith Pollock.
Yes, you could just call me Najuma. Right?
Hi, Najuma. How are you?
Hello, Najuma. Welcome to the Business Zone.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for having me on. It's good to be on with you all. And it's interesting. I'm not sure if Tashanta and her daughter's still there, but I know them well, and just really proud of the both of them.
Yeah, she was telling me beforehand because we thought you were, well, at the time when you were coming in, she was looking forward to seeing you because she was telling me you had been on her show, or she had been on your show. Both of them had been on your show. And so that we were looking to make that connection. Again, I don't know how much you heard of the show earlier. I grew up at Fame. And Reverend Murray is my all-time pastor. And every church that I've ever been to, I hold everybody up to his standards.
Yeah, I do too. Trust me.
Yeah, he is just so awesome. I just saw him 2 weeks ago at the BBA awards. It was a dinner that I went to, and I just love Chip Murray. So so she's connected. She is the program manager, in addition to being a minister and a pastor, for the USC Cecil Murray Center for Community Engagement. And Dr. Smith Pollock combines her experience as a pastor and expertise as a community leader to run programs that train pastors to take on civic engagement work. She's a pastor, motivational speaker, author, life coach, radio personality, and community activist. And we just want to welcome you to the show. And
I'm excited to be on.
I think I met you a couple years ago. You guys launched a program with 12 ministers, I believe. It was at SC.
Yeah. So what we do is at the time we were doing a faith leaders training, and so part of our core work at the Murray Center is we work with faith leaders, nonprofit, faith-based executives on how to do civic engagement, community development work. So that's the core of what we do at the Murray Center, plus a number of other things that we're called upon for. But that's our core.
Okay, and I think I met you there because I came to that event. I was a guest of Kelly Redmond.
Oh, yeah, probably so. Yes.
Okay.
Probably so.
And
yeah, wonderful.
And did I read somewhere you were at Church of Our Redeemer? Isn't that Mark Whitlock?
Christ our Redeemer. Yes, I was his assistant pastor. His pastor of family ministries for about 2 years. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of grew up in the church with him as well.
Absolutely.
So we have a lot of people in common.
We family. So you and I are basically family, because that's my big brother in ministry. And Papa Chip is my father in ministry, so you and I are family.
Yeah, we're family. Because I was like, wait a minute, I'm reading through and going, wait, I met this. I don't know you like obviously Don and
right.
Tasanta, but we're definitely part of the Cecil Murray family and Mark Whitlock. Yeah, he was an itinerant when I was at Fame. I left Fame right after, about 4 years after the riots.
Okay.
And then. And then I went over to Brookings AME, so Reverend Murph was my pastor for about 14, 15 years.
Oh, beautiful. Wonderful, excellent.
So
I love the platform of your show.
Oh, thank you. Now, you have a show as well, right?
I do. It's called Living on Assignment, and the core of our show is really about, we interview people doing really great things in and around Los Angeles and abroad, of course. But really it's about encouraging individuals to tap into what they've been called to do and really kind of get us, tap into it, but also live it, live on assignment. And so the people that come on my show are people who are entrepreneurs, visionaries, game changers, go-getters, typically people that have stepped out on faith or are stepping out on faith and really living into what they believe God's called them to do from all kinds of industries. So we don't just, a lot of people think because I'm a pastor, the show is a gospel show. And that's not just that. It's really a show about people who have tapped into their God-given calling. And that can be a number of different things, because we know that God calls people to different industries and to different, levels of work. All callings are not just for the church. Some people are called to be in the entertainment industry to impact the entertainment industry for kingdom cause. So that's what our show is about. It's called Living on Assignment, and we're now going on. We're going, I think, year 3 or year 4.
Okay, so we're in our third year. We're in our third year, so we probably started up about the same time.
Beautiful, excellent.
Now, where exactly is your operation located?
Okay, so our operation being the church or the business?
The business.
So it's the at-home business. I run everything from my home at this point, but because I have a church and because I'm at USC. Everything is mobile at this point. But what I do outside of church is I hold webinars and I have clients that I coach, and really just walking them through, tapping into what you believe God's called you to do, and really the things that we look at. And some people use the word purpose. I prefer to use the word assignment for this reason. I do believe that God has a big plan, and that all of us have a part of that plan. And so that's why I use the word assignment. That when all of us complete our assignment, the bigger plan of God gets done and gets completed. And so that's why I choose the word assignment. But it's no different than saying live into your purpose, live into your destiny. It's really about everybody trying to, people who are trying to tap into what they believe God's called them to do. And the way we look at that is, it's beyond just what do you do well, but what really resonates with your spirit, what really resonates with your soul, what's tapping into as the text would say, your inner person, your inner man, what really feels right for you. And so a person may sing, and so singing can be a talent and a gift, but it also can be a calling and a purpose. And so, or some people can sing and have the talent, but that actually may not be their purpose. And so we look at, I take all of my clients and people that I've worked with through a series of questions. We even do a gift analysis, like looking at what your gifts are, and then really fine-tuning it to what really resonates well with the person, outside of what you're good at, outside of even what you've gone to school for. And this wasn't anybody else. A lot of people have gone to school for a lot of things that they like to do, or they were encouraged by their parents or family members, and then they get in it and they're like, yeah, I don't even really like this that much. And so, I'd rather be doing X. Like if I could just spend all day using my creative ability as opposed to something else. And so really walking people through that process. And it's really a beautiful thing to see a person tap into what they believe God's called them to do and how God's called them to use that thing, whatever it is, to impact people. And part of the conversation around living on assignment is that what you're called to do is not just about you. And I know a lot of people use the term like what you're called to, your purpose, your destiny is anything that you would do that you don't mind not getting paid for, which is great philosophy. But what I understand is that when God has called me to do something, he always makes provision. So while it is noble to say, I don't mind not getting paid for it, the reality is if God's called me to it, there will be provision because there's a message, there's a mission, there's a greater impact, all of which requires some kind of provision. So I'll take myself, for example. I'm a preacher, I'm a pastor, but I'm also called to encourage people. I'm an encourager. And so my assignment outside of preaching and pastoring is really to encourage people. So I use that gift and that anointing to really encourage people like, yes, you can do it. But there's also a profit to it. There's also a money maker. There's a prospering that comes with that, not just financially, but also holistically. And so our philosophy is not about make money. Yes, you will make money because whatever God's called you to requires provision. But also there's a sense of satisfaction that comes with that. Like when I'm tapping into what I'm called to do, my purpose, my destiny, my assignment, whichever word you choose to use, there is a piece that you get to tap into. Like I'm actually doing the thing that I know I'm called to do. And that's really a beautiful thing for people to live into and to live out. And that's really what we do. So the core of our business is really virtual because there's really no need for me to have an office at this point or a big shop. Though I'm not opposed to if God ever allows that to happen.
And I think nowadays, being to be flexible and not expending money on brick and mortars because, it's really about, where you're meeting your clients anyway. And online is about the best way to do it. And I totally agree about living in your assignment. I've known my purpose on this planet. I probably since I started my business, and it's all been guided by a higher power. But I do know when you're an entrepreneur or whatever it is you're reaching for your biggest goal, when you know the real reason why you're doing it, it is just an awesome experience. And everything comes to you as you need it. When you ask for it, it just appears. And I think I learned that from Reverend Murray when I was growing up, because I went to that church until I was probably about 18. I was 29, I think, when I left Fame. And so I grew up under him, and he was just an awesome inspirer. And I think that was, the beginning of the core of me reaching for my higher goals. Right.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And I love what I do, and I love the helping of the others. And Gilbert, you're too. You're living in the reason why you were put on this planet. And I think that's an awesome experience and feeling when you're not questioning why you're doing what you do.
That is true.
Right. And while it is something that you would say, oh, I do it and not get paid for it, the reality is and I've been using this word a lot lately because I preach a sermon on what it means to be a kingdom influencer, because we know in our social media space, the conversation around influencers, social media influence is a big thing, and I did a whole sermon teaching on it. And so what I'm understanding is that whatever God's called us to do and however God's called us to live that out, it is to influence. Whether it's to influence a person or people or group or nation, a community, it is to create influence. And so while it is something that we might do, even if we weren't getting paid for it, the reality is there is a provision that comes, because if I'm called to influence and make an impact, there has to be a certain level of resources, especially in this day and age, that comes with that to make that work happen. And so when we talk about living on assignment, it's about what God has called you to do. It's about tapping into what resonates with your spirit, with your soul, with that creative aspect of every individual. A lot of people don't think that they're creative because they weren't trained to tap into that creative muscle. And then when they figure out, oh, I am creative, I'm just creative in this way or in that way, because we tend to relegate creativity to just art. Like, can you draw? Can you color? You know, I'm not artistic in that vein. I can't even draw stick figures straight. but when it comes to preaching and speaking, creativity flows. And so it's really about tapping into that creative spot that's in everybody. We all have it. Why? Because we're made in God's image, and God is a creator. And so it's got to be in me to create. It's got to be in me to produce. It's got to be in me to come up with something out of my heart, and out of my mind, out of my hands, because I'm made in His image. And so those are the kind of conversations I have with people and with our clients, and those are the kinds of things that I preach and I teach, so people can really tap into what they're called to do. And the beauty of it is seeing, you know, friends and people that I work with launch businesses. And I know there are a few people that have businesses now and that are doing things that really resonate well with who they are. And there's a satisfaction, there's a provision, there's a sense of I'm where God wants me to be. Not that it's the final story, because that can always be expanded, that can always be increased, but I'm where God wants me to be in this season. And then having the freedom and the license. A lot of people have, and you know this, have not been given permission or the license or even know that they can actually do what resonates with their soul. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people are, and I was raised this way. We're trained and we're raised to do what will make money, do what family and friends tell you to do what simply that you're good by trade, but that may have nothing to do with what my soul is longing to do.
And that happens a lot in our community, and that's some of the reasons we don't grow. In addition to, you know, the Business Zone and my own coaching business, I'm the director of Recycling Black Dollars. And so, you know, I encounter that on a regular basis.
I'm sure, yeah. And, you know, that's why you have, and just by way of a commercial I saw, that's why you have people that's, you know, football players making cupcakes. Because at the end of the day, while he played football for 20 years, he really wanted to be a baker. You know?
Right, exactly.
You see people make these major, like, well, you were just doing this. You were just a doctor. I've actually seen doctors walk away from the medical field and do something that maybe they make not as much money or may not have the same clout, but they are happy.
Well, look at Dr. Ken. That was the pediatrician, and now he was in Hangover, and now this is the biggest career. He is funny, and he don't even know why he said he became a doctor because that's what his parents wanted him to do.
Right, and there's an expectation to do what will make you money, but I try to tell people, doing what God called you to do will also make you money. It'll make you the income you need, because God has never called anybody to do anything. He's never put anybody on the assignment and didn't make provision.
Well, Najuma, we definitely going to have you come back on the show and tell us a lot more about what you're doing in the community. I think it's very, Crystal, I'm sure, also think it's very exciting and impressive of what you're doing. So,
and I'd love to connect with you. I think I would love to have you come to RBD meeting, because sometimes we just need that inspiration. Just to get people moving into their glory and into the place where they really should be operating in. And a lot of times it just it's the fear that stops us from doing what we do.
Oh, fear, yeah, absolutely. We deal with fear. We deal with overcoming subconscious thoughts, negative thinking, so all of that. And I don't want to take up time because I know the hour's wrapping up. But listen, anybody and so certainly you and I will connect. And anytime you want me back on the show, I'm always available. Today we had just a mix-up with some things I had going on here at the house. But I would love to come back on, love to come to the RBD meeting. And anyone that wants to connect with me, I am Rev Juju at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. If they type Rev Juju on any of those four platforms, they'll find me. Rev, REVJUJU, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, Rev Juju.
Okay. And I'm going to send you over a copy so you can see Tasanta and their counterpart in New York. Tamara and Xandra. That it was an awesome experience. Kids just doing some awesome stuff, man. It just warms your heart.
Yeah, I know. I when I met her daughter, I was just totally impressed. So I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, just really cool. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Juju.
Okay. And we'll be talking.
Absolutely. Take care. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Bye-bye. So we're at the 5-minute marker, Crystal. We got 5 minutes to go on the show. So we went over a lot of things today. We covered a lot of topics, a lot of great topics. We talked a little bit about student loan, the scam of a market that it is. We also talked about our entrepreneurs,
and
our young
youth entrepreneurs and their parents that are helping them achieve their goals and dreams. And what I really love about the whole interview, the two, mom and daughter, is that they're not thinking small. They're thinking big. And that's really when we talk about a business, we shouldn't think of it just being occupying a tiny little space in the ozone. We should think about it being as expansive as our mind will allow it and our resources will allow it. And then as we're moving on, those resources will come to you. And I think them going in the process of doing pitch competitions in order to acquire money to move them to the next space is an excellent strategy, so that they're not so indebted with debt and loans, which kind of cut into the bottom line.
And one thing that one of the guests, one of the youth entrepreneurs said earlier,
Xandra or
Cheyenne. Out of the mouth of babes and suckling, it's amazing some of the things that they say that's so true. She said that irrespective of the challenges that you may have as an entrepreneur, you don't ever want to give up. No matter what the space is that you're in, you may be a small seed and there might be the big box companies or the bigger companies around. Don't let that, suppress your idea or your thoughts or your approach. And I really like that. That's a great word of wisdom.
And I think from a young person, a 14-year-old, saying that, because one of the things that I find when I'm working with kids and helping them develop businesses is the limited creativity that they have, and that's really comes because the schools don't nurture that creating. And being an entrepreneur is all about creation, and in being innovative and inspired by something that you see or feel or hear or taste. And so for a young person, both of them at 9 and 10, to take their ideas and not sulk because they couldn't have what they wanted. They went and became very innovative. Like, I will create this. And I think that's the way entrepreneurs. I wish my adult entrepreneurs thought like that.
That's why I'm saying, out of the mouth of babes and suckling, it's really inspiring to hear that. So that was good. That's one of my takeaway today. Yeah, that's one of my takeaway. I mean, there's a lot of great things that's spoken on the show today, but that's my primary takeaway today. Yeah,
and I just like to meet, and I know from being an entrepreneur, it elevates you as a person, and the way they spoke, and both of them are out speaking publicly. I mean, to professionally, actually, speakers, and just to start your life. Just imagine if I had to start it at 9 years old. Oh, there would have been no. I mean, we were doing. I think my first business with my mom, I was 11, but we didn't. It was small, if my mom had the exposure these two moms had, it would have been a whole different kind of experience.
And this only goes to show. I know we've got a minute left to go on the show, but this only goes to show that we really need to put some time and effort into grooming and mentoring our young entrepreneurs. We didn't get that growing up, so we should, certainly pass this on to the up-and-coming entrepreneurs.
Yeah, and I'm going to have them come out, have Cheyenne and her mom come out and talk to the entrepreneurs that I'm doing now.
I think that would be great.
And that would be great. And actually, if they're going to be here at the end of the month, Tamara and her mom and Xandra, I would love to have them come out to meet our kids, because they'll be competing on the 11th, and they're competing against 11 6 other schools. And I think it would be pretty darn awesome.
That's great. Now, I just want to talk real quickly before we go off the air about this challenge that I have, this contract readiness challenge that I'm putting out there to small businesses. You could be construction, non-construction, whatever trade you're in. I want you guys to challenge me and prove to me that you're actually contract ready. So give us a call here at 323-293-3375, 323-293-3375, or if it's after the show, you may call me at 626-533-1186. I really want to challenge your business, and I'm willing to do this free of cost. I really want to sit with you, check out your business, see how contract ready you are, and there's a lot of opportunities for you if we get you to that level.
All right. Sounds good, you guys. That's the challenge for you. So we've had a great show today, and we will see you next Friday at 3 o'clock live on morrismedialive.com, as well as on the Business Zone's Facebook page, and we're live there as well. And eventually we're going to have Mr. Buchanan over here live on his. So we're working on making that happen.
That's right. It's going to happen real soon.
Real soon. So you guys have a great weekend. If you're not Irish, but if you're Irish, happy St. Patrick's Day, which is Sunday. Tomorrow? Is it the 17th?
Well, I think they're celebrating it Monday.
Monday, the 17th. It's the 17th. So happy
St.
Patrick's Day. And we're out. We'll see you next week.
As a small biz pro, so we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, so we grow, using procurement, program, and control. Yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh, yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.